Hello and welcome back to EclipseClan. We are picking up pretty much right where we left off here with our clan of evil cats led by our bloodthirsty leader Short Star, young adult female. Now, we already left off with all the patrols being done and our most recent cat being exiled. So here's our current clan. For the most part, everybody here is pretty safe outside of Peekfur. Peekfur is on her last chance before she too will get exiled from the clan. If you want to know a little bit more about why we're exiling our cats, I recommend checking out the first episode, as that explains a little bit about the rule set here. But generally speaking, because of our bloodthirsty nature and roguelike tendencies, we don't really believe in StarClan, we don't really believe in the warrior code, and cats have to therefore pull their weight. Any cat that can't work, or who works poorly, will be exiled or worse. Our two elders here already have other traits that allow them to keep working. There is some concern that I have about Mole Branch here. Mole Branch is our medicine cat and is about to give birth. When Mole Branch goes to give birth, he's going to end up being sick and able to care for himself. As he's our only medicine cat, that means that he is going to be at higher risk of dying, and any other cats that get sick or injured have a higher risk of dying until he recovers. If he doesn't recover, that's an entirely different story. So I think we're going to make our other elder here, who has spent a bit of time in the medicine cat den, very briefly at least, a medicine cat as well. And Luckblink here will take care of the rest of the clan, and then once Mole Branch is feeling better, she can just hop back over to being a mediator instead. The goal is that one of these kits down here is going to be made a medicine cat apprentice, but we'll see who has the gumption for that. And with that, we're going to go ahead and skip. So Mole Branch thinks that they'll have a small litter. They decide to move into the nursery in preparation for their soon-to-come kits. Ripplecit breathes a small sigh of relief. Finally, the deep throbbing pain in their head has subsided. So it looks like we did manage to get there just in time before Mole Branch moved to the nursery. Now, something else that a commenter suggested is that cats that fail, as far as this clan goes, can go to StarClan. And I've been thinking about that because I just kind of want to make it more blanket. Everyone gets to go to the Dark Forest. But I do have to say that I agree with that because J Slash here never really did anything wrong. She was always hated by her clan. She grew to be faithful with a strong connection to StarClan. So I think J Slash can get a pass and can go to StarClan. And for right now anyway, will be our only cat in StarClan. But our guide here, Morning Spider, is going to keep dragging cats into the Dark Forest. Short Star still wishes that she was in her nest sleeping, so I think she'll remain in camp for this moon. Luckblink goes to the half moon meeting between the medicine cats of the other clans in lieu of Mole Branch. Naturally, the other medicine cats are wondering where Mole Branch is and why the strange older cat has taken his place, but she refuses to give anything away. Mole Branch, meanwhile, is eavesdropping, and he'll be giving birth to his litter next time. Ashade is helping to babysit the kits, since they no longer have a parent in the clan. Peekfur is definitely feeling the effects of her nerves. She really can't afford to fail this next patrol, and she's just wondering what's gonna happen if she does. And the kits, it looks like, are all hatching a plan to try and sneak out, specifically Cougar Kit and Ripple Kit here. Okay, so while walking along the border, your patrol notices a Tremble clan patrol renewing their scent marks up ahead. Since this is another clan, we are going to antagonize them. Our patrol stands tall and approaches the clan cats with insults and threats. They need to be sure that Tremble clan knows how strong EclipseClan cats are. Claw Splinter spits and hisses until the other patrol leaves the area, intimidated by how our patrol is acting. So that is a successful roll. And that means that Peak Fur is safe once again. So I'm sure she probably didn't fully agree with that, in all honesty, since Claw Splinter took the lead, but she is definitely very relieved that she is no longer under watch for possible fire. Okay, so we're going to move into Moon 8 here, and we're going to see Mole Branch's kits. So Mole Branch doesn't feel ready to be a parent at the single kitten, but they promise the tiny flailing limbs by their side that they'll do their best. They swear on Sarkland itself. Mole Branch is feeling content. Let's see his family. Oh, this is just a little mini Mole Branch. He gives birth to a little female torty pelt with green eyes and names her Rush Kit. And go ahead and scroll down through here. Nothing very exciting, looks like, which is fine. Luck Blink is feeling excited. She's probably just very excited to see the new kit in the clan. Cougar Kit is excited for their apprentice ceremony, which is coming up soon. Ripple Kit is grateful to Mole Branch for their treatment. Ripple Kit has been very sick in her kittenhood here, so I'm sure that that's very true. I didn't do this earlier, but Cone Speck and Swallow Drop are currently exiled and are just taking stock of their surroundings, trying to avoid other dangerous rogues in the area. So part of me does wonder if they'll meet up, whether canonically or just through our flavor here. Peak Fur finds a loner who offers their healing skills in exchange for shelter. I definitely think that we'll accept this. I just don't think we turn away a ready-made healer right out the bat. But the loner does politely decline to join the clan. We've met Hocus Pocus, who is a young adult with a silver pelt, a black bell collar, responsible and smart. So because we couldn't successfully recruit that other healer, Halfshade, Gustclove, and Claw Splinter are being watched by Shortstar. Another important note here too before we go into next moon is that all 4 of these kits are going to go with Honey Trot here. Because now that I'm thinking about it, if we're doing it where the kittens follow their caretaker, and Mole Branch, our medicine cat, has a kit for himself, it probably makes sense to just make Rush Kit a legacy medicine cat. And these other 4, unless they choose to become a healer, will just follow Honey Trot, since their father Swallow Drop entrusted them to her. So I was just going through some of the cat relationships just to see if anybody was developing any particularly strong feelings for one another. And we have a relationship triangle here. So Shortstar actually has a little bit of a crush on Claw Splinter. Claw Splinter has a little bit of a crush back, but a little bit more dislike than not. But Claw Splinter also likes Peak Fur a little bit. And Peak Fur also likes Claw Splinter. So Claw Splinter is at the end of a very dangerous angle here. So we'll keep an eye on that and see how that goes. And in all honesty, if Claw Splinter fails rolls but Shortstar has feelings for her, well, maybe she wouldn't be immediately thrown out of the clan. So all of the apprentices now are made apprentices and touch noses with new mentors. However, we're going to switch them all over to Honey Trot. Although I did see that one was made an apprentice to Short Star. So I'm wondering if Short Star took a particular interest in Ripplepaw for some reason. So if that's the case, maybe Short Star wants to keep Ripplepaw under her tutelage. So Short Star took on Ripplepaw, but Short Star does not like Ripplepaw. So I think I will just stick with the original plan and we'll make all of the apprentices under Honeytrot instead. And also look at little Rush Kit here. She's suddenly got a little bit of orange in her. So I'm just going to go through, I'm going to change everybody's mentor over to Honeytrot. Oakpaw turned out to be Faithful. Cougarpaw turned out to be Strict. Ripplepaw turned out to be Careful. And Bubbling Paw turned out to be Loyal. So until they're all grown, Honeytrot will just take them all out to training. And that'll just be that, really. Honeytrot will show them the ways of cat life in lieu of a mother or father figure. So Mulebranch is very grateful to Luck Blink for taking care of him and his kit in this time of need. Rush Kit is too good at playing hide and seek, probably giving his father a little bit of, or her father a little bit of a heart attack, I'm sure, just looking for his little kit. So Honeytrot wanders past an old badger set, and we freeze. There is a new scent here, acrid and sour. Normally, I feel like a cat with a vengeful trait and could afford to, leave it if it was their own kids, would just turn away here at no cost themselves. But I'm sure now that Honeytrot has all four under her wings here, it's probably feeling like a much bigger endeavor, especially for kids that aren't even her own, so I think she's going to proceed. Ripplepaw decides to set up a stakeout with the patrol, and the badger pokes its head above the ground at dusk. They're prepared, and in unison everyone turns for home. The cats fade into underbrush before the predator has even blinked the sleep out of its eyes. So while on patrol, we notice some suspicious paw prints in the mud. But it turns out to be our own. Gus Glove hustles with embarrassment and can't meet the eyes of the rest of the patrol. I don't really think that counts for against a strike for anything. It's just a mistake and nobody really is affected. It's just kind of my thought process. If anything, it would only be against Gus Clove. So Hashade misstepped and slipped from a rock, dislocating a joint, which means that they're going to be on a timer. But Bubbling Paw disappears for a few days and then returns to camp with a green bell collar around their neck, which is cute, but I'm honestly not sure how Short Star would react. I think it would just be an automatic strike against them. Basically, like, sure, if you want to be a kitty pet, then go be a kitty pet, but don't expect that kind of softness around here. And if you are so weak as to get caught by the two legs, then, well, maybe you also don't have a place here. So Bubbling Paw is going to be treading thin ice for a little bit here. It looks like our current elder medicine cats are having a good time discussing things in a den, and probably just enjoying a little bit of company there. So for Hashade here, he didn't have any previous strikes, so if his dislocated joint ever gets to the point of 4 moons, then he would be out, but I think those typically heal before we get to that point. Short Star is wondering if they could hold apprentice ceremonies at 4 moons old instead. I'm sure that would be an interesting thing if we could change that mechanic. Mulebranch is worried about his kid, which Brush Kid is still being too good at playing hide and seek. I'm sure all the sudden disappearances and having to constantly be looking for her is just terrifying for him. Elkpaw is finding Bubbling Paw annoying. Cougarpaw is hoping Honeytrot assigns them to the next patrol. Ripplepaw is eavesdropping on Short Star. And Bubbling Paw wants to get to know Gus Glow better. So there could be a very interesting dynamic happening between Short Star and Ripplepaw. It could genuinely be that Ripplepaw does not approve of what Short Star is doing. Send all the apprentices out with Honeytrot though. We find a nice spot to sun ourselves. Elkpaw makes sure everyone gets a good basking spot as the cats pause for a little break before resuming their training. So that is a success, so Bubbling Paw is okay again. But I think there's going to be a very careful eye on him in the future, just in case he's displaying any kind of misguided loyalties or mismatched thoughts. As Luckblink pass through EclipseClan territory, they feel a presence join them. I'm gonna go ahead, we'll antagonize this threat. So Luckblink feels hounded, never given a moment's peace, and they hiss at the Sarklean cat. The ghost vanishes like a puff of fog in the morning sun, hopefully not to return. So I think that was probably J-Slash, but exactly what J-Slash is trying to tell Luckblink, it's really hard to say. I think Shortsar probably wants to go on board patrol, stretch her claws a bit. Gusclo spies a fat rabbit on the other side of ButterflyClan border. Tempting opportunity, but it may not be wise to do so. Shortsar is going to very pointedly showcase the rabbit, and Gusclo is going to go for it. It's a very tempting opportunity and perfect. Gusclo pounces and kills the rabbit, intentionally leaving evidence of their deed behind. And this will show ButterflyClan just how confident EclipseClan is in its own power. So, I forgot to do this last time. Short Burn was Shortsar's previous name. Because we are rogues, we are playing it as if we do not have 9 actual lives here. But I still kind of want to go through this leadership ceremony because I just think it could be interesting for any possible previously existing relationships, I suppose, that Shortburn had before founding EclipseClan. Of course, J-Slash is here now, so unfortunately we'll never know what that other cat's name would have been. So I'll just scroll through this, we won't read it out loud. But something interesting to note here is that all of the cats seem to have a very unapproving air about them as they're giving their lives to Shortburn. And Lightning Claw in particular actually seems to be from the Dark Forest. So that's a really interesting effect that comes with having a bloodthirsty leader, it looks like. But we are playing this as if all the cats are at equal footing here, so if Shortsar loses any one life, then she's just gonna be gone for good. Okay, so Peekfur was seen in a very serious conversation with a kitty pet who ran away when another patrol approached. Peekfur is nervous, excellent fighter, and currently has no strikes, but there was a little bit concern about that a little bit ago. So, when approached, Peekfur hastily says that they're just trying to see if they could recruit another member to the clan. The other patrol isn't sure if they believe her, but with no current reason to doubt her, they hesitantly let it go. I think that's what we'll do for now. But let me know your thoughts about those kinds of interactions, as well as things like so-and-so is caught breaking the warrior code for this clan. Just because if there's no code for us to break, then it doesn't really matter. But if it's going against the words of Shortsar, that could matter a lot. Shortsar called an important clan meeting recently. Honeytrot is feeling underappreciated, especially with all of these apprentices, I'm sure. Luckblink, our interim medicine cat, is struggling to remember all the names of verbs, which is totally fair. Despite his injury, Hashade is standing guard in the camp. He has effectively 2 more time skips before he's out. Rush Kid is scared after having a nightmare, poor little thing. Mole Branch really needs to heal up after this next go here. So Conespeck is bristling at the alert call of a bird right now. Swallowdrop, however, has found a nice dry den, so at least he's doing okay. And Hocus Pocus is engaging in loaf mode. I do think we'll send Short Star out on board patrol with the others again. And we are presented with the exact same opportunity, but this time it's Willow Clan. Gus Clove does fail, but Willow Clan patrol notices them. They laugh at the pathetic display and turn to walk deeper into their own territory, unfazed and unimpressed by the sad attempt. Which is definitely going to be a strike against poor Gus Clove here, who always seems to be the go-getter whenever Short Star is around. Which could be Gus Clove's attempt to shield some of the more nervous cats like Peekfur here. Speaking of which, let's see how this love triangle is developing here. So we still have a little bit of like here for Claw Splinter, who feels about the same romantically for Short Star and Peekfur, but Claw Splinter is platonically liking Short Star more. And Short Star still has a little bit of a crush on Claw Splinter in return. So as we're moving here into Leaf Fall in our first year, Mulebranch has healed from the strain of delivering their litter. And just in time, Luckblake announces that they are expecting kits and decide to move into the nursery in preparation for the kits to come. Hashay's dislocated joint has popped back into place and is feeling much better. So everybody is healing up nicely, it looks like. But it's very very interesting to see the longer term effects for Luckblake here. I do think we're going to go ahead and switch her back to Mediator now that Mulebranch is feeling better, and Luckblake's not going to be able to help him out for another 5 or 6 more moons anyway. So it's honestly kind of same difference. Peekfur wants to get to know Short Star better. And Short Star is feeling excited. I'll go ahead, send out everybody on patrol. Trailing behind the patrol, there's a mighty crash above Bubbling Paw. They look around wildly just as the world is blotted out by a tangle of heavy falling branches. I definitely think that his littermates would still help him, even if Honeytrot may hang back a bit. Honeytrot is getting a little bit fond of all the apprentices, which is totally fair since she is mentoring them. Though, as Honeytrot rarely has patience for other cats, Bubbling Paw tells them harshly that they don't have time for some idiot who got stuck, making Honeytrot resentful as they pull themselves out from under the branches. I thought it was Bubbling Paw that got stuck, but I don't think Honeytrot's going to be helping Bubbling Paw anytime in the near future if the roles are reversed. While searching for some specific herbs, Mulebranch is startled by weird sounds and whispers on the wind. Mulebranch follows the strange sounds on the wind and finds the body of an unknown queen with their kits beside them, slowly going cold. They cancel their patrol and return to camp to get help sending these lost souls to StarClan. So, unfortunately, we'll never know who that queen and their kits were, but hopefully they find peace. So Gus Clove and Claw Splinter failed in catching a vole, which is Gus Clove's second strike. Everyone else is going on a border patrol. Peekfur notices some suspicious paw prints in the mud, but they turn out to be Peekfur's own. Peekfur husks with embarrassment. So Peekfur's also being looked at suspiciously right now. So Luckblake thinks that they'll have a small litter, which is fair. Claw Splinter overexerted themselves and is feeling extremely sore. Ripplepaw has gotten green cough, which is always really scary going into Leaf Bear. And the herb stores are inspected by the medicine cat. All the moss has gone bad. So Ripplepaw has been pretty commonly sick, but has always pulled through. So hopefully they'll pull through again. This is going to set her training back quite a bit. And if we ever get to has been sick for 4 moons, she'll be out. So Honeytrot is currently assessing the apprentices. Rushkit is still too good at hiding. Elk Paw helps Bubbling Paw perfect a fighting pose, and Ripple Paw teases Bubbling Paw for missing an easy catch, so Bubbling Paw is kind of going through it right now, in all honesty. Our elders are doing really good with their roles, by the way, for catching their own food. Short Star is currently pondering mentors for the kids of the clan, and is basically probably just deciding that Rush Kit is going to become the next medicine cat, since especially Mole Branch is getting up there in age, and it just makes sense. Honey Trot suggests that this is a good chance to practice some fighting techniques. Honey Trot takes charge and coordinates exercises for the patrol. Soon cats are practicing tips, tricks, and tumbles. So we tend to the place where our cats go to be buried and mourned, and Gus Clove came along for the trip. Gus Clove does help them gather rosemary and tidy the ground, so Gus Clove's strikes are renewed. Short Star finds a small burrow on the ground with a strange scent, unsure if it's worth checking. I think we'll proceed, and we manage to get a gopher out of the burrow with more fresh kill. So while on patrol here, we notice Thrush Clan is renewing their scent marks up ahead. We stand tall and approach them with insults and threats. Peek Fur spits and hisses until the other patrol leaves, the area intimidated by how we are acting. But luckily that resets the strikes for everybody then. Rush Kit loudly complains as Mole Branch pulls him over to quickly groom their pelt. They manage to go away and scurry off to the front of the crowd for their ceremony, where they are renamed to Rush Paw and apprenticed to, in this case it's going to be Mole Branch. Black Blink secretly had a litter of 2 kits. Claw's splinter soreness is gone. Ripple Paw is no longer coughing and spluttering. Their case of green cough is now cured. All of our burdock has gone bad though. So I'm really curious to see what these kits are going to look like. Also, something I hadn't necessarily considered is going to be long-term effects of having a mediator basically giving birth, because if they go to Luck Blink, they would just be apprentice-be mediators. So maybe Luck Blink will find a warrior that she's close to that can help with that. Rush Paw is shameless right now. I'll switch her over to being a medicine cat apprentice. And we have Sick Kit, a little female with pale yellow eyes and a marble pelt, who is bullying. And then we also have Lilac Kit, who I think I will change the name. I just want something a bit different. Ooh, Silt is an interesting one. So we've got Sick Kit and Silt Kit, who is a daring kit with heather blue eyes and a mackerel pelt. And of course we can only see Luck Blink as their parents, but it's pretty safe to say that their dad was a tabby of some sort. Probably a lighter color. Short Star is encouraging warriors to start fights on border patrols. Honey Trot is wondering about Gus Clove. Mole Branch had a vivid dream in the wee hours of the morning. Our medicine cat den is looking pretty well stocked too. So Claw Splinter is currently rethinking their life choices, and Peeker is shredding the thought of failure. Just a lot of interesting emotions happening there. Doesn't really look like our love triangle here has progressed very much, though. Yeah, it really hasn't. Ripplepaw had a very strange dream. Interesting. Wonder if it was prophetic in any way. Bubbling Paw is also wondering after Gus Clove. Then we have our 2 little kits there. Cone Speck is exploring lands beyond our territory. And Swallowdrop has heard a rumor of hostile rogues in the area, which really could very well be us. Mole Branch decides that with the calm day outside, it's a good opportunity to show where the most commonly needed herbs are located in the territory. Rushpaw's focused and attentive, giving Mulebranch confidence that next time there is an emergency, Rushpaw will be able to find the herbs they need without them if needed. And we gather catmint, which is very needed, oakleys and elderlies. There's a new badger scent out here. It is acrid. Honeytrot scrambles into the den for looking comes nose to nose with the occupant of the den. It is only by the grace of Starkling that they're able to redirect that speed to twist around just as fast, shedding fur and clumps as the badger's furious snarling and fizzling follows him up the burrow tunnel. Okay, Honeytrot, I was expecting a bit more caution there. I think Shortstar is intentionally going to take Claw Splinter for Crush out on a hunting patrol together. As Claw Splinter tears through the forest with Shortstar, stretching their legs on a run, they spot movement out of the corner of their eye. Nothing is going to escape their claws. Shortstar skids a halt and then leaps into action, Claw just barely catching the tail of the squirrel they saw and bringing it down. They purr with satisfaction and pad back to Claw Splinter, sharing the excitement of the hunt with them. It looks like that has definitely improved our feelings for one another. So you notice that a Thrush Clan sent us straight into the territory. So we don't really have a choice here. We have to antagonize, but I always get nervous about this, and sometimes it comes with a dog. This is a trespass that will not be tolerated, and frankly should be reciprocated. Our patrol blatantly spreads our own scent on Thrush Clan's territory, ruining the clearly marked border lines, and our relationships have worsened. So this is a very interesting moon here. That kitty pet that we found before, Hocus Pocus, waits on the border asking to join the clan. They decide to keep their name. And since it doesn't really specify, I think they probably just joined as a warrior. Additionally, EclipseClan welcomes Elk Crackle as a new warrior, honoring their support. Shortstar also calls the clan to a meeting and declares Cougar Paw to be a warrior. They are now called Cougar Back and are celebrated for their valor. Claw Splinter fought a rogue and got hurt. And we notice that all of the Oakleys that we just collected have gone bad. We need to collect new ones. And Honeytrot announces that they are expecting kits, but they won't be moving into the nursery just yet. Probably Honeytrot is going to be looking to try and get the apprentices all fully trained up. Bubbling Pot is welcoming Hocus Pocus. Okay. So, let's see how everyone's doing here. So, Honeytrot, who thinks that she's going crazy, is currently pregnant. Claw Splinter has been injured with a cat bite for 1 moon. As per usual, if this gets to 4 moons, then Claw Splinter could be on the wrong end of some things. And the apprentices are grown up. Oh no, Elk Crackle. Elk Crackle grew to be a loving and a fantastic teacher, which, unfortunately, since that is a bad trait, he is going to be resigned to permanent solo border patrol duty. Until whatever happens, happens. Cougarback, however, has turned out to be bloodthirsty and a good teacher. So Cougarback definitely got the better end of the stick in terms of this clan. And it looks like Honeytrot did cause the cat to be more abrasive, whereas Honeytrot did not influence Elk Crackle at all. So Ripplepaw is acting angsty and is still careful until she gets her full name. Same with Bubbling Paw. So these two's fates are still unknown. And Stick Kit has grown up a little bit to a very pretty marble tabby pelt there. And Silk Kit has really darkened from like that pale yellow to dark ginger. Definitely reflecting his mom a bit better there. Okay, so Hocus Pocus did join as a medicine cat, it looks like. Which is good. That loyal trait is also considered good. So Hocus Pocus here is definitely a very welcome addition to the clan. Short Star is relaxing in camp, so she won't go on patrol this moon. The cold of Leafbearer might have killed off a lot of greenery, but Mulbranch knows that the dandelions are only playing dead. They can get their paws on a plant the roots will still hold fresh, milky white sap. Seems it's time for Rushpaw to learn about what resources are still available to gather during Leafbearer. Mulbranch can't say it's fun swiping away snow to scrounge for the stems and roots, but what matters currently is that it's possible. So they praise Rushpaw as they head back home with their harvest. They haven't uttered a single word of complaint about the miserable conditions, and Mulbranch could not be prouder. Hocus Pocus pads along, mouth open slightly as they scent for any traces of herbs. Oh, they can smell some raspberries nearby, but it seems they're just over the border. They pad to the border and pause for a heartbeat to scent the air. Thrush Clan scent is very strong, but there's something else. Their medicine cat appears at that moment. They're walking towards the raspberries when they spot Hocus Pocus and wave their tail in greeting. They invite Hocus Pocus to gather some as there's plenty, and Hocus Pocus gratefully accepts. So we have improved Thrush Clan relationships and raspberries gathered during this patrol. I don't know if Hocus Pocus truly knows about the borders and everything that could come with that, so I think Hocus Pocus could totally just get back to camp and be like, yeah, I got these from Thrush Clan's border, and everybody be like, good job, Hocus Pocus. And they would just be like, oh, yes, I will do that more then. So, sending El Crackle out on a border patrol. El Crackle does not have the option to say no here, so he comes across a small dog. He hisses at the dog, warning it off. It skitters back, yapping loudly but headed in the right direction. Maybe El Crackle should add dog herding to their list of accomplishments. Honeytrot takes him out to see a big porcupine, a patrol spotted in one of the many glades of EclipseClan's forests. Ripplepaw and Bubbling Paw watch the big, bushy lump of a creature with wide eyes, tail switching with excitement. Honeytrot points out the cascade of spines lying flat on its hairy back as the porcupine snuffles happily around the forest floor, sounding like a happy newborn kit in a nursery. On their way to mark the far corners of their forest territory, Hatchade starts telling a story of their ancestors to keep every cat entertained. It keeps the cat's mind off their long, shady walk. The patrol goes quickly and easily. So Gusglove wants some peace and quiet and heads off to one of their favorite spots in the forest, a grove of spread out trees with thick underbrush providing excellent ambush chances. What do you know, they are bush. Or they were, as far as that squirrel thought. And I think I'll go ahead and leave that off here. It's been a very interesting episode, that's for sure. We haven't needed to exile any cats. I think that show of power that Short Star had at the very beginning really went to heart. We've had quite a few litters born and apprentices being raised, and the clan's just growing, prospering even. So we'll see how long it lasts. It could be very, very short. But I will see you all next time for that. Until then, stay safe, stay happy, and bye!